Hey, what's going on? It's Jonathan. So it's like almost 7 o'clock at night. Well, in the day, I guess. 6:42 p.m. Um, I'm just sitting here trying to get my mind more cleared. Um, I don't know yet, but I took the juice, some, and I was able to use the restroom to a point. So I don't know if like all that stuff was just accumulating and it was causing like kind of like a toxicity to happen to me. I don't know. Okay, that's one way to stand up straight. Sit up straight. So I feel like it's helped a little bit, but I'm not there. I walked to the Dollar Tree again and got some more prune juice and some water, and I came back. So the particular water that I got, allegedly, it has a neutral, yeah, depends, a little bit above um, water content, pH. Um, so, anyways, hopefully that helps. So I guess possibly continuing where I left off last time, my last video. I didn't really leave off. I'm just kind of having some clarity moments here and there, and I kind of think about like what I was talking about. Like in 2011, I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's, because they found the antibodies, right? That's what they found. They found the antibodies, and I was put on Synthroid, which severe reactions, and I stopped taking them, and that was it. And then in 2018 or so, they tested me again for those antibodies, and it came up. And then I think I was tested by my endocrinologist for thyroid globulins, which showed that those were high as well. So, from what I've heard, that means you have Hashimoto's, or at least your immune functions are screwed up for your thyroid, right? But allegedly, the endocrinologist goes and tells my PCP that, they don't think I have thyroid issues because my TSH is normal. I mean, like, are you serious, right? But what really gets me is the fact that not only have I been diagnosed, there's been confirmation twice with another antibody test that showed. So that shows that I have Hashimoto's. And then with all the EEGs, the psychological test times 3, and finally the PET scan, that really showed screw up shit. And then my neurologist saying that they think it's autoimmune Hashimoto's encephalopathy. I don't know what the count is. I don't know if it's like 1 in 10,000 or 1 in 100,000. It's something. People get it, and I'm one of them allegedly. I guess, I don't know. But that's what I got. Now, so I think, to be honest, I think it's gross negligence. Fucking gross negligence in general. Maybe the endocrinologist is just stupid, I don't know. But my doctor, in general, or my previous doctors that's had this case, they didn't, they don't care. They're just like, you got anxiety, you have mental issues, it's all in your head, you know, you need to be on medication, yada, 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 right? Completely failing to treat me for Hashimoto's. Think about that. I'm not just having symptoms. I'm not just having non-specific symptoms, as they say. I actually was diagnosed with a condition. A potentially life-threatening condition. And they're failing to do anything. They don't care. I mean, that's my PCP. She's responsible for my life. Essentially. I have a diagnosis of this. And from what I've heard is, oh well, you got anxiety, you got mental issues. Or the endocrinologist thinks, you don't have it. But yet, I have the blood test that came back positive. Right? I've had all these different issues that, who knows, maybe is even associated with Hashimoto's. Right? So, I've even had brain scans and psych tests and everything. I even got the only doctor in San Antonio that is even on the level when it comes to like dementia and brain disease and stuff. I saw a regular neurologist, in fact, the same place. You know what? They didn't do shit. They said that I had mental issues and it was all in my head. And then a couple years later, I finally got in because they finally got somebody. And then it's like, oh yeah. So, when I talk shit about doctors in Texas, that's what I'm talking about. They do not care about people. I feel like my eye's like that. I don't know. Maybe it's the eyelid. It sucks, man. But they don't care about patients. I'm not saying all. I mean, I've had good conversations with a lot of physicians, and they're like, and they see the shit that's going on. But 9 out of 10 times, they don't know what the hell they're doing either. I mean, a person is having an autoimmune disorder that's killing them, and you don't care. You're turning around and you're saying a person has mental issues, and it's all there in their head, and they need to take psychotropic medications. I'm sorry, that to me just sounds like gross negligence. Even with my doctor. I mean, she's just whatever, but definitely my last doctor. They had the diagnosis. They did nothing. She did nothing. Even when the PET scan came out, nothing. I don't know if I saw her after. I think I saw her after. I think I got the PET scan afterwards, but nothing. And then everything that I thought was going on actually was. And then you know what happened? Say that building, that group, they all buddied together and they tried to make excuses, justifying whatever actions instead of being accountability. You see what I'm talking about? That's why I've been making over 140 videos so far. No, I have made over 140 videos. Basically complaining about the same shit because I'm sick. I'm having all these issues. I got fucking brain disease. Like, I'm trying to talk right now, my head feels like it's sizzling right now. As well as 1,000 other things. You know, I ask for help and I can't get help. You know, I've seen these so-called prestigious world-class doctors in Texas and they're fucking jokes. They don't do anything. I mean, you're supposed to be like world renowned as, you know, you guys state. World renowned. What do? They do nothing. You know, they order all these tests and they're just like, well, you know, this is fine. There's nothing wrong with you. Blah, 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 blah. You know, and it's just like, you know what I mean? I mean, hell, I look at my hair, dude. You know, maybe this hair, like all this, or I can't even have my hair long because if I do, I have like all these spots that don't fill in. Maybe that's because of my autoimmune problem. But they don't even try. They don't try whatsoever to even get better. They don't even try to figure out what's wrong. You know, it's funny. This cool idea. I think like Create Pepper. I got like a couple shirts, but this is from 2004. My last job before I got sick. I got sick on the job actually. But yeah. I got sick on the job. So, you know, but that's what I've noticed, like, with what I've said in that last video and what I've said in this video, I mean, I have almost a filing cabinet. If my room was a little more cleaner, I'm trying to work on it today. I would show, like, all the fucking records, like, all the doctors I've been to, all the places, whatever. I mean, some of them, it probably, like, some of them are on CD. But I probably have about, I don't know, 5,000 papers, maybe more, you know. Probably a lot more. I mean, I got, like, what, 6, 7 books, those book things, you know, folders you put the papers in. You know, I got those, and I got everything else. But that's what I'm talking about. That's why I wished I knew, like, health, and I don't think that's a thing, but I wish that I knew health politicians. You know, politicians that advocated for getting people healthy, you know? Advocating, like, basically, you know, say that, you know, they're able to make changes in the healthcare system. You know, where if doctors are doing the shit that they're doing, like they're doing to me or to you or whoever, you know, they can have severe consequences. They could lose their license. But, I mean, there's not a lot of doctors in general, you know, so a lot of doctors get that free pass, and then if they work for a group or whatever, it's even worse, you know, because everybody's going to side with them. You know, it's like trying to hit a corporation, you know, it's, you know, you're going to have a hard time. You know, but I think that these kind of people, they're, you know, they're parasites, dude, they're leeches. They don't need to be doctors. They should never practice, you know, unless they can prove that they're, you know, responsible. You know, they should never be able to practice. Like, if I could, I would sue the shit out of a lot of doctors that I've seen. Because these doctors have caused me a lot of hurt, a lot of time lost, a lot of health issues just in general. You know, it's like these doctors don't even try to figure out what's wrong with you. I've lost count how many times I've gone to the hospital. And I'm like, in real, like, I'm not good, I'm sick. And they don't do nothing. And if you're lucky, you get saline. But yeah. I guess it is what it is, right? I guess it is what it is. But I think there should be legislation that changes these kind of behaviors, to put, there needs to be people watching out for this. I also think that the so-called regulators, such as for Texas, the Texas Medical Board and whatever, they should, somebody should be regulating them, because I don't think the Texas Medical Board, cares, to be honest. It's basically a slap on the wrist. And even then, I think they said somewhere, maybe it was 5% or maybe it was 1%, of all the doctors that screw up or whatever, like on that level, they don't get reprimanded, Nothing ever happens. And they still have their license. I mean, there's been some doctors that's done some real crappy shit, and they're still doctors today. They don't care. And I think that's real sad, to be honest. I think that's truly sad. I don't know, like, doctors kind of remind me of, and I'm not comparing everybody, but, like, doctors remind me of corrupt officials. Yeah, corrupt officials, that's more appropriate. But, the kinds that, there's, like, legit shit going on. Like, they're corrupt as hell, dude. But they act like they're not doing anything wrong. They act like, like this one guy, I forgot what his name is. But he's gets on YouTube a lot, and he harasses public officials and whatever. I mean, sometimes it's all, it's, I guess it's appropriate harassment, but, sometimes he's just a dickhead. But, he's for liberty, apparently. But, I don't really like him. I mean, I find him interesting, but some stuff I don't like him, dude. I think he's a fucking asshole, but at the same time, I can't not like him, because there's a lot of content that he puts out that is really relevant. I'm like, oh wow, dude, like, that's cool. To a point, he is standing up. There's things that he really stands up for, and it's like, that's badass, right? I forgot what I was talking about. I don't know. Please hold. We are having mental technical difficulties. I don't know. He was talking about something. I feel like I'm gonna fucking have a seizure. I had like 3 slices of pizza, maybe 4 slices, I don't know, like all together. I had 1 earlier, and then I had 3 today, just a little bit ago. I don't know why I had all that pizza. That's just stupid, dude. It's so stupid, Jonathan. My head feels like it's gonna freaking, like, something about something. I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh yeah, the corruption or whatever. Like, I think he was like at the DMV or whatever. Like, he was trying to pay. He had to get, tags and whatever the case was, and blah 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 blah. And he wasn't fine with that, dude. Just freaking extortion, pretty much. And I mean, he was down for, I mean, he had to pay. He was down to play the game, But when he came in and he was talking, and he was very nice, right? He was very nice for the most part. He didn't really have any attitude, but he was straightforward. And he was standing his ground, and he was talking about these different things, and you could just tell, like, the person there was just so fucking corrupt, dude. It's just like these cops and stuff, like, they'll all gang up and shit, like the corrupt ones, they'll all gang up and they'll act like, you're just, argumentative and bad and you're just looking for trouble and whatever and blah, 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 blah. And, like, these motherfuckers, if they can, they'll shoot your ass, dude. But they're like, oh, sir, man, I'm not trying to shoot you, man. Like, I don't know what you're thinking, man. Like, I think you're a little paranoid. I'm like, I'm paranoid. Like, are you serious? Stuff like that. And then you see actual corruption. Like this one video I saw, this dude, I mean, his language was kind of crazy, but, he stood his ground, but, they wanted his ID and stuff and whatever, and he's like, no, I guess they were looking for someone, and then they were, and then they saw, he mentioned, like, a camera across the street, and then when the cops saw that, they changed up the stories, and everything changed, and, she got all nice and whatever, because she knew somebody was watching, or they'll send, like, their cronies over across the street to talk to the concerned citizen and, try to swoop them off so they can go back harassing and possibly shooting the person that they're talking to. But it kind of reminds me, or like even the county or whatever, public officials in general, public servants, especially public servants. Like you look at, doctors, the medical staff in general. I mean, I see that shit all the time. Like, in a sense, I mean, they are public servants. I mean, they are to a degree, but they're kind of like unofficial public servants, But they're out there and they're causing all these issues. They don't care. I mean, I don't know, like, I think about that right now. Huh. That's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. I have one of those bungee things. I kind of got them, like, wrapped around my ankles, kind of like cuffs or whatever. These. I just think weird. Yeah. So, I don't know. I felt like the medical society, whether it's the work, the medical boards, or these big company groups, health groups, or doctors in general, or some staff member, or somebody, that employee or whatever, they all seem to have attitudes, man. Once again, I'm not putting down, like, the global doctor. I'm putting down the doctors that don't give a shit or do anything like they should be doing. Like, I personally believe, from my last video to this video, it is gross negligence what they're doing. It's gross negligence. But because of the Texas tort law, they can be negligent all they want. It's not illegal. Gross negligence is very hard to prove. Even if you could prove it, everything is stacked against you. My chest feels like it's, I don't know, it's like that. I don't think it's racing, but... feel like I feel like my heart is beating different. It does. It feels like it's beating different. Like it beats and then it changes the tempo. It's changing the tempo, dude. Like it was like that, and then it was like. The tempo is changing. I don't know, maybe that's why I feel like this. But, you know, I think about my heart issues, my nervous system, my brain, my digestion, you know, my organs, my immune system, a little bit of everything. And I feel like since at least 2004, they haven't cared. You know, and then they'll charge you thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars and expect you to pay it. And if you don't pay it, well, that's okay. That's okay. Well, we will just put that towards your credit, right? We will put that towards your credit. So, yeah, we're gonna put that towards your credit. You know, they say the number one cause of debt in America. I mean, I'm sure there's probably a few reasons, but you know, they say it's because of healthcare bills. Feels weird. Like it all feels weird. Like even the beat feels different. You know? They say that third leading cause of death in America. Well, seems like there's always many thirds. You know, first, second, thirds, fourths, fifths, whatever. But one of them is doctors. The medical industry. It's the third leading cause of death. So that should tell you something. Yeah, it feels like it's quicker. I'm starting to feel really clammy, like over my body. So yeah, so I think I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna try to. Yeah, my whole body's actually sweating. I'm like, I'm like sweating. Oh Lord, that's not good. So, anyways, I'm probably gonna get off this, and I don't know. My mind is just really screwed up these days. So, hopefully, I can get this done. You know, I have this and I can't see it, but it's kind of like a samurai warrior, soldier, whatever. And it says, like, it's a picture, and it says, I just had it in my head. It's like, you know, the best weapon, your mind is the best tool or something. Or your mind is the best weapon. I think it was like your mind is the best weapon or something. I don't know. It was something like that. But, you know, you could probably, maybe you can find it. I don't know. Actually, I found it on Facebook. It was actually a picture on the frame on the wall, and it was everything else. And I just kind of, you know, cropped it and fixed it up. And Yeah, I have it on my, my background, so when I turn the phone thing on, or when I go into it or whatever, I can see it. So I try to think about my mind being my best tool, my best weapon. It's just trying to figure out how to use that when I'm always getting deflected. My ears all like, yeah. But yeah, my whole body's sweating. Oh yeah, my whole body's sweating. Lord. But anyways, I think I'm gonna get off of this thing and go try to do that stuff. And I mean, this is, I guess, kind of like a second follow-up. It's kind of repetitive, I guess, in a sense. I find it to be, I mean, at the end of the day, it seems like doctors in Texas would rather say a person has psychiatric issues or anxiety or whatever, and then tell them to go see a shrink that puts them on medication so they don't have to deal with them. Right? When they do other tests that actually comes back as something, but they're too lazy to try to figure out what's actually going on. And then, you have actual conditions, not just symptoms, but actual conditions, and they ignore that as well. And that, I believe, is on the lines of medical negligence, gross negligence. It's crazy enough for symptoms, but when you just got diagnosed with the actual condition, and you're basically telling me I need to go see a shrink to get on medication, you're a fucking asshole. You're an asshole. You are a fucking asshole. Just like I mentioned on the phone, because a person called from my doctor's office, mentioned all these things since it's in the other video for this day. I was like this, and I had my shades on my head. But I mentioned the Hashimoto's, and like, is she gonna treat that or whatever, or telling them like, hey, look, I have this Hashimoto's and it's gonna kill me and shit. And they said, you can schedule an appointment with her, and I was like, okay. And they're like, oh yeah, well, we have one for like August, next month, right? It's not even the 20th yet. It's still, what is it, like the 17th? And I think theirs was like, I don't know, like 3-4 weeks from now. Just like I'm always getting dehydrated. They don't try to figure out why I'm dehydrated. They just say, oh, well, you must not be drinking enough water. Or maybe it's you being out in the sun. I'm like, dude, I'm never out in the sun hardly. And I'm always drinking water. My heart. So, but, and then they go, and like I said, they're basically saying, well, your endocrinologist doesn't think you have anything wrong. But everybody up. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. This is what the fuck is wrong with America. Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, make America great again. And go after these fucking cock-sucking doctors. These cock-sucking politicians that are limiting the citizens' rights to health care. That's being abused by these healthcare, so-called healthcare companies, providers, whatever. They're not doing much. I don't know what the hell is wrong with these doctors in Texas. But they're dumb. They don't care. Maybe because it was, you know, Rick Perry. I don't know. 2003 Texas tort law. But from what I've heard, you know, Governor Craig Abbott, he's done some crazy shit too. Like basically saying, okay, well, let's strip this requirement where doctors have to pay tens of thousands of dollars to take a test every 2 years to make sure that they're adequate to be doctors. Because I can tell you this, for the last 14 years almost, they're not adequate whatsoever. And if he's just going to abolish that, I understand that costs money. But if you're just going to abolish that because it costs too much money, and doctors aren't adequate in general, you know, and I would also go after these test people, you know, the licensees, the licensors, such as the medical board, you know, because I think the docs study for the test, and then they go and they take this test and they pass, right? Well, I don't know, something's going on, because Texas Medical Board is giving these licenses out like it's candy. Like I said, 14 years I've been dealing with stuff. I don't know why I'm sick, you know, but I sure as hell know that I'm not getting the fair treatment that I should be getting. I'm not getting it at all. In fact, a lot of people's not getting it at all. But then again, you have a lot of these people, you know, they don't even get it, dude. You know, they're content on taking all these medications like the doctors tells them to. They're being a good, compliant patient. See, when you don't take pills, you're non-compliant, and then they don't want to deal with you. And I've been in situations where they will fire you because they're like, oh, well, you know, he didn't want to take his medication, so hey. Even though, like, for the time that I actually got fired, when they were like, I want to give you drugs. What kind of drugs do you want? Actually, I had something which, you know, you could do other forms of treatment and get rid of it, which I did that, and it was good. But they try to turn around and say, oh, well, he wasn't taking his medication for this issue. I didn't need medication. All I had to do was bloop, bloop, bloop. It's gone. But they just make shit up. You know? The Texas Medical Board, the lobbyists, everybody is essentially behind this. They're letting these doctors act wild. These doctors, the majority of them, they're trifling. They don't care. I mean, I would almost associate him, I mean, maybe that's too out there, but I would almost associate him with gang members, thugs. You know? Or these drivers that they think just because, you know, they got a driver's license, they can, you know, I don't know, not follow the law. Which doesn't make sense, right? I mean, the crazy thing is I don't even have an actual official license. I mean, I can drive license, but I don't have, you know, full driver's license. And I'm a better driver than these people. These people got a driver's license and they drive like crazy, dude. And you wonder why, well, there's probably a few reasons, but wow. But you wonder why there's, you know, insurance rates are so high. But I don't know, man. I just know people aren't doing anything. And people like me are dying by the thousands every year. We're dying by the thousands when we could have got help years ago. But doctors didn't care. Doctors only feel that their patients have some type of mental problem. That it's all their head. They're too young. Which, you know what, and I'll end with this. You know what's crazy is the fact that more and more and more conversations that I've been having with people on different platforms, or just in, you know, the public arena, like outside, like the real world, Um, you got so many people with actual issues, autoimmune problems. I mean, I got a friend, she's kind of a friend, a person that I talk to in my group. Um, she was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis at 2 years old. I've met a few young people in their teens with MS. I just met this one woman. She's 32 years old and she has MS. Which is crazy because she's still able to smoke and drink and smoke and drink sodas and whatever. I'm just like, oh wow, dude. You know, I don't know, man. But yeah, I mean, you got like this one 16-year-old girl. You know, she has to take shots like every week or whatever, every other week. And one of the three, spots. And she has to do this. You got kids with tumors, diabetes, cancers. I mean, we know that kids have cancer. St. Jude's. But when you're 21, you go and you're sick and you talk to these doctors, hey, I'm sick. Oh, you're just a hypochondriac. You're too young to be sick. I'm like, the next time somebody says that, I'm like, St. Jude's, man, St. Jude's. I'm like, well, what does that mean? What does that mean? I believe that's the place where all the cancer kids that they can get in go to. You know? I'm not a mathematician, but they say 1 in 2 men in America is going to get cancer in their lifetime. There's over 300 million Americans. What? More than 330, I know that. Right? And then for women, women usually outnumber men. So 1 in 3 women are going to get cancer. So I'm not a mathematician, but I'm sure at least 100 million people are going to have cancer in their lifetime. Just in America. In the next, however many years. If not now. They say Houston, Texas is the biggest, I think I already said this or I said it in another video or something, I don't know. But they say Houston, Texas is the biggest medical center in the world. Especially dealing with cancer. The brain scientist guy I was talking to, he was talking about that, cancer starts there and cancer, I don't know, like everybody that goes there for cancer shit, like MD Anderson. Which is interesting because, one of the places I go to is affiliated with that. But yeah, like if you got cancer, yeah, let's give them fucking chemo, right? Yeah, if they got cancer, let's give them chemo and drugs and shots and whatever. But if they have Hashimoto's encephalopathy, let's say that they're crazy and there's nothing wrong with them. You see what I'm talking about? You see that? Cancer patients, tons of treatments. Hashimoto's, rare but fucking dangerous and deadly. You see what I'm talking about? They don't care. That's negligence. That's not only negligence, that's bias, that's discrimination, that's everything, dude. You're going to help people over here, but you're going to ignore people with rare, deadly fucking issues that could one day be so bad, I'm out. I'm in a coma. I'm dying. I'm pissing and crapping over myself. I'm going into hypoglycemia because I haven't been eating. My body's starting to sore up and I'm starting to get those bed sores because I'm not moving. You see what I'm talking about? I mean, I think these two videos, they're kind of all over the place, but I think I've said enough. I just wish I was healthy, and I wish that I could be an advocate, and I could sue the living out of people. I thought it was weird, like, can't see it. I don't know. Because I was like looking like this, like, you know, the background, this. But yeah, man, Cardi B. I don't like her, but I kind of like her. She's growing on me. Sort of. I don't know if I could listen to her all the time. I mean, she's made some interesting comments that, like, oh wow, you know, this chick is lit, as the youngsters call him. Hey, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's lit. Hey. Okay, I'm gonna get off of this thing. All right, pieces. Any comments, questions, concerns? Just write me below. If you want to subscribe, I'm gonna try to start making better videos. At least conversational videos like this, which I think is probably here, down there too. It's probably down there. And if you want to look at my other videos, no, I don't have those. I don't know how to do that, but that would kind of be cool. Like, if you want to look at my other videos, here, you can click on this one. If you want to look at that video, you can click on that one. Ching! No, I don't have those. I'm not going to put those in there either. I don't know how to do it. And if you want to go to my awesome website and buy my products, you can go to here. No, I don't have that either. Sometimes I crack myself up. You gotta, you know, when you're in a situation like this, you have to laugh, dude. You know, even if it hurts or even if you feel like you're dying, you gotta have a laugh, you know. You gotta do something. I mean, I might just get on YouTube for a second and just laugh. I got to, man. I can't do anything else, right? So, and, yeah. Alright, Coco's, man. I'm out of here. We out of here. You're gonna go somewhere else. You can watch my other videos. I'm warning you, though. They're kind of redundant. I don't know about them. It's basically what I've said in these last two videos, but, yeah. Or go watch something else. You know, try to be an advocate, you know. Don't take shit from your doctor. You know, those doctors, they, you know, some are cool, but most doctors, I mean, I've heard patients talking about their doctors are awesome, you know, awesome experience, but, you know, that's all good and fine, but the numbers are growing and dissatisfied customer patients such as myself that are being treated in this manner, and it's BS. It's ridiculous. It should be illegal, and it sure as hell should not be tolerated like it is now. You know, especially in Norden. But I'm getting off. My mind is still screwed up, but I'm gonna try to get up and move around. So I got to. I have 4 pieces of pizza, so that's a lot of damn carbs. So I got to try to burn those carbs off as best as I can. So I'm out. 3, 2, 1. Bang.